Hello, welcome. So today we're doing maths. We're looking at parallel and perpendicular lines. So yesterday's lesson was all about angles and Kandinsky, and you did some amazing, honestly, it put my work to shame. My work here, put it to absolute shame. Felix in particular sent me some incredible pictures, which I'll try and post for you. He did the angles and then he put the artwork over the top as well. It was very good, but accidentally learning and revising angles, which is fantastic. If we can do that in everyday life, we'll be sorted. So today, like I said, it is parallel and perpendicular lines, which hopefully will be a recap, but I'm not promising. So if it isn't a recap, we'll get there, and hopefully we'll learn something we weren't sure about before. So just to recap the angles from a previous lesson. So right angle is really nice and easy to find things in your house about right angles. So any A4 paper that hasn't been ripped, it's from one line to the other. That is a right angle there. And that works for any piece of machine paper. Obviously, if it's all ripped up, it might not have a right angle on. But then you can start finding them in other things as well. This one isn't quite because it's got a curve, but generally these two lines would meet a point, and that would be a right angle. Anything less than a right angle up to really close, 1 degree all the way up to 89 is an acute angle, and you remember that because it's really small, it's like really cute. And anything above right angle, so anything from 91 degrees all the way up to 179 degrees, so all the way up to a straight line, anything from 90 degrees all the way bigger up to a straight line is an obtuse angle. So when I refer to things, acute, obtuse, and right angle, just so that you're aware. Okay, so I was looking through the planning, and I stumbled across this, which is last year's. So, what is an angle? An angle is a measure of a turn measured in degrees. Okay, so an angle is a measure of a turn measured in degrees. An angle is where two straight lines meet at a vertex. So, it's where you draw two lines and they meet at a point or a vertex, as we've discussed. But any two straight lines, as long as they're straight, and as long as they meet at a point, as long as they meet at a point, that has four angles coming off of it. Okay, this is the measure of a turn. So from here, all the way to that. Okay, so the measure of a turn, an angle is where two straight lines meet at a vertex. So I will remind you of that. So might be worth remembering where this is on the video. So today we're going to be looking at a horizontal and perpendicular lines. So remind me, how can we tell if an angle is a right angle? So we can tell, easiest way, by having a piece of paper. We can use a right angle checker, but actually there's a right angle right there. So that would be a really quick, easy way to remember. This is just a rough piece of paper. So, can you see these lines? This blue line is called line AB. And the reason it's called line AB is because there's an A at the top of it and a B at the bottom of it. Can you see that? And they're all in blue. That's line AB. Line AB goes up and down the side of the door. It is straight up, straight down. It is a vertical line. So a straight up and down line going exactly straight up or straight down, that's a vertical. Okay, you can see some vertical lines background, maybe my board, the wall is vertical. And then horizontal. Horizontal, I always remember horizontal because it's the horizon. Now, on our picture here, line CD is horizontal because it goes along the horizon. Okay, so line CD is the red line. It might be quite hard to see. Red line going from here to here, all the way along the bottom of the door. Okay, so quick question. What does that make line EF? What does that make line EF? Is that horizontal or vertical? So what I'd like you to do is copy this diagram down. You can draw the most amazing door in the world, or you can just draw a nice rectangle with a handle on it. Doesn't need to take forever. And then when you've got it, you can label, you can draw the line in and you can label it. So line CD, line EF, and line AB. Okay. Once you've drawn those on, you can label them as happened on the diagram. Once you've got a drawing that looks much like this, you can then label them, each line, with what they are. Parallel, horizontal, horizontal or vertical. Okay, so I've done that. Now, what we're looking at today is parallel lines and perpendicular lines. So, line AB is perpendicular to line CD because they meet at a right angle. So any lines come down, vertical and then horizontal, and they meet, they are perpendicular to each other if they're exactly right angles. So line AB is perpendicular to line CD because they meet at a right angle. So line AB, CD are perpendicular to each other. Okay, now imagine a train track. Imagine a train track goes all the way along the tracks, and because there's a train track, the lines like this as well, all the way down. But a train has to run along it. A train has to run along it on the wheels that they've got that fit into that train track. And because the train never changes size, it's always got to follow exactly the same path. The tracks have to be exactly the same width apart, but they already are. These lines here, so this line and this line, are parallel to each other, okay? So perpendicular is when they're at right angles to each other. Parallel is where they could go on forever and never ever meet because they're exactly the same distance apart all the time. So, for example, this ruler, this side, if it went on forever in this line, it would never meet this side if it went on forever, okay? You'd just keep going. So that is parallel. Two lines that keep going indefinitely, never get further apart or close together. Parallel would be this line and this line together because they meet at a right angle. Okay, so I would like you to write a statement just like this, but for parallel lines using the diagram that you've just drawn. Okay, so line AB is perpendicular to line CD because they meet at a right angle. That is perpendicular. I want you to do the same now for parallel. And I'm going to pause it there. Okay, lovely. So hopefully you've got something along the lines of line AB is parallel to line EF because they will never meet. Ooh. Okay, so this is the task. So on this task, I would like you to look through the letters and I would like you to write what lines are parallel to each other, which lines are perpendicular to each other in each section. So for example, line AB is perpendicular to line CD, okay? That's my example. I'd like you to write those down, and that's today's task. Okay, so I'm just going to go through it with you. So AB and CD, they are perpendicular to each other because they're at right angles. Line IJ and GH are parallel to each other. And line FE and GH are perpendicular. And line FE and IJ are perpendicular to each other. Line KL is perpendicular to line MN. And QP is perpendicular to RS. Now these are interesting because they don't meet, but they are still perpendicular lines if they did continue, okay? And line TU and VW are not parallel or perpendicular. They are, well, this is an obtuse angle here, an acute angle here, another obtuse angle here, and another acute angle here. And that will be along the lines of the patterns that you must have found whilst doing your art the other day, okay? So I hope you enjoyed today. I'm going to, like I say, I'll put this all on the on YouTube, and I hope you enjoy it.